Well, good evening one more time, and welcome to this virtual session for admitted international students. My name is Rita Parker, and I'm the Associate Director of International Admissions here at the University of South Florida. On behalf of USF, I want to congratulate you on acceptance to one of the undergraduate programs, either computer science, computer engineering, cybersecurity, or information technology, that will soon be housed at the new USF Bellini College of Artificial Intelligence, Cybersecurity, and Computing. This is a remarkable achievement, and we are thrilled to welcome you into the USF family. Here at USF, we are proud to be a welcoming home for international students, providing the resources and support that you need to thrive. Did you know that USF is the top destination in Florida for international students in STEM? Our university is at the forefront of innovation and technology, shaping the future of AI and cybersecurity. You would be joining a bold and dynamic environment where you will have access to world-class faculty, cutting-edge research, and supportive student network. Today, we're going to hear from our experts at the Bellini College. I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Stacy Sepulveda, success coach and academic advisor, also joined by student ambassadors who will share their experience and insights with you. With that, I'll hand it over to our experts to tell you more about what you can expect as a student at USF's newest college.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be talking today a little bit about the new and exciting opening for fall of 2025, the Bellini College of Artificial Intelligence, Cybersecurity, and Computing. We'll talk a little bit about history of computing at USF. I'll introduce some key administration in the department, Associate Dean, the Director of Advising, and I'll introduce you also to the student ambassadors as well. Okay, we'll leave some room at the end for some questions and answers if anyone has any follow-up questions, and I'll also leave some room at the end for our ambassadors to speak to you. They are students themselves, so they're very well equipped in discussing different techniques that they have done in the courses, internship experiences that they may have had, research opportunities, and overall their experience in the program. Then my name is Stacy Sepulveda. I am the success coach. I work very closely with all the students. I meet with students throughout the semester to make sure that they know exactly what courses they need, how long it's going to take them to graduate. I introduce them to the different resources on campus, such as tutoring, counseling, library services, the wellness center if needed, different financial aid and scholarship office as well. I work closely with the students if they are experiencing any difficulties in the class, that they can meet with me to make sure that we could create a good academic plan to get them back on track to succeed. So my office hours is always posted. At the end, I'll also post the contact information for all the academic advisors. Here are our student ambassadors. Right now, currently we have with us today, we have like 3 of them here today with us. They can speak a little bit later on their experience, and you'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. They are students themselves. They have gone through the program. They're being close to graduating. Nigel will be graduating this spring, so we're really excited for him. Again, they've gone through internships and research, and they're well-rounded in a lot of experience. Here is some history of computing at USF. And I'll go over that a little bit more. In 1960 is when USF opened up its doors and held its first number of classes. We had about 2,000 students back in the 1960s. 20 years later is when we developed the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at USF. That was in 1980. A little more history into detail. Computer science and computer engineering and cybersecurity and information technology were held as a department in the College of Engineering, but our program has grown so much, and then we were one of the departments with the most students, and with technology evolving so quickly with AI and Cybersecurity and Computing, we decided that it was time to open up our own college, and that's where we are right now for fall 2025. We have announced that we will be opening the Bellini College of AI, Cybersecurity, and Computing. It's really exciting. This is an historic event. It's not, all the time where colleges are created. So this is really exciting time for us. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Another key fun fact is that in 1989, Computer Science and Engineering Department introduced the internet, the World Wide Web, to Tampa area. In 2005, White Hatters Computer Science Club was started. We'll talk a little bit later about all the different student organizations we have and how to get involved and to network with some of these student organizations. It's a wonderful way to network, meet people in the field, and also to add it to your resume. Okay. And again, here 2024 to 2025 is when we started the new college. The mission of the college. So why are we creating this college? We feel like we want to be the global leader in AI, cybersecurity, computing, education, and ethics. Again, we felt like the college AI is increasing, the number of students are increasing, and we want to keep up with the demand in the industry. So we developed this college and we hope to expand, and we feel like other colleges in the future will also follow our lead in designing a whole AI program and developing a college solely that's focused on computer science, engineering, cybersecurity, and computing. We're anticipating delivering high demand academic programs, and I'll talk a little bit more about all the different programs that majors and minors, and both on the undergrad and graduate level that we will be offering. I see questions coming in, but I will be talking about those. We'll be addressing those questions, but you can keep posting those questions. We will also be talking about how we will also be developing interdisciplinary not only programs, but research opportunities. And interdisciplinary, I mean major in computer science, but maybe a focus also on social science or business. We also want to keep encouraging ethics and trust in technology. Because AI is moving so rapidly, we have to make sure that we have the security measures and ethical measures in place to make sure that our technology is trustworthy and ethical. The growing need. STEM is one of the occupations that's continuing to grow in this fast growing job sector. Just some statistics we did was to really see is about 24% growth since 2019, and that number is increasing. The medium tech earnings, which means when a student graduates, what are they coming out and what salary are they getting at an entry-level position, is about 92,000 in the Tampa Bay area. Again, that can increase, and also depending on what part of the United States you obtain a job at. Tampa is becoming one of the tech hubs, and is a home of a lot of different startup businesses and cybersecurity hotspots. So why USF? Right now in USF, we have 200 plus faculty members engaged in AI, cybersecurity, and computing, doing research. And we'll talk a little bit more about the different types of research we have. We have about $40 million invested in different research opportunities, and 80 million in about data-related research projects. We are top 15% ranked for computer science. And as I mentioned before, we are accredited. We are the largest Bachelor's of Cybersecurity ABET accredited program in the US. As great recognition. Faculty. Right now, in our area, we have more than 50 faculty members, top faculty that are leading large research opportunities and in IEE fellows, AAS fellows. They have about $18 million in active external research grants that they have contributed. Here's some of the programs that we'll be offering. Currently, we have 4. We have a bachelor for undergraduate level. We have a bachelor's in computer science, a bachelor's in cybersecurity, a bachelor's in information technology, and a bachelor's in computer engineering. With the new college for fall of 2025, we will be introducing a new bachelor's of artificial intelligence. We'll also be doing some transition to a bachelor's of computer science and engineering, which will be planned for 2027. We offer multiple minors, and we're going to continue to increase that number where students can minor in AI and cybersecurity and such. For graduate levels, we currently have a master's in computer science, master's in cybersecurity, master's in computer engineering, and we will be planning a master's in artificial intelligence for 2025. We'll be also transitioning to have a master's in computer science and engineering for 2026. Aside from that, we also have a BS to MS accelerated program where students can be on an undergraduate level, finishing up their bachelor's degree, and in one more year can get their master's degree by taking courses on the bachelor level that will go towards a master's degree. We have graduate advisors as well that students can meet with. As I mentioned before, interdisciplinary majors is something that's going to be new, and we're planning this for fall 2026, where students can have almost like a dual degree. It's a bachelor's in computer science and criminology, a bachelor's in computer science and business, a bachelor's in computer science and social sciences. This makes you stand out, more marketable for some of the industries. For example, for students looking at job employment on FBI, they'll be able to say that they have a bachelor's of science and criminology. I'll go over a little bit about the current majors that we have. For computer science, you need Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Physics. Some of the other courses that students take and that are designed in the program is Algo, Discrete Structures, Object-Oriented Design, Data Structure, Operating Systems, Computer Architecture, and there are many elective opportunities, and that is increasing where students can play around with different opportunities of electives: AI, human brain interface, robotics, biometrics, where students can take electives to see what area of computing they like best. Computer engineering, students are able to take, again, they want the calculus 1 and 2, physics, but also a focus on not only software, but hardware and computer architecture, hardware design. Cybersecurity focuses on making sure that the cyber operations are safe. They built on the technical foundations of computing and information technology. Students in this major can focus on software system.
Course for the AI actual technology.
We'll get to questions in a little while after, okay? We'll leave room at the end. So just remember your question. Or you can write them in the chat and we'll get back to it. Technology is a really also amazing major that students can venture into. It's really broad. It can lead to different areas: business, government, healthcare, education, and other organizations. Students focus a lot on programming, database, networking, and human-computer interactions and web systems. The new bachelor's degree, the bachelor's of AIs, will be starting for the fall. Coursework will include machine learning, operating systems, algo, and ethics. Research opportunities. Currently, we have a lot of different research opportunities, especially in AI, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Right now, 30 USF members are involved in AI-funded research from computer science, engineering, marine science, pediatrics, psychology, behavioral health as well. We're right now leading a research project on studying the cries of babies, newborn babies. So we're working with a team of doctors to assess pain. Babies are born, they cannot speak. So it can be troubling for both parents and doctors to realize if this, assess the pain level that these babies are experiencing. Can it be a normal pain, a hunger pain? Maybe the baby wants a bottle, or can it be something more troubling that the baby is really in dire need of medical assistance? So we're working very closely to kind of assess by the sound of the baby's pitch and develop technology to assess that. So we're working very closely with doctors, a team of doctors on this research project. We also have we have a lot of different research projects, but another project we have is studying of mosquitoes. So we're working very closely with the Center of Disease Control in determining, tracking mosquitoes, trapping mosquitoes, testing mosquitoes to make sure that we're keeping track of their track of mosquitoes, but not only that, but to prevent diseases. Mosquitoes are pretty nasty. So we're definitely making sure that's another research project that we're working very closely, and we're working with these huge organizations such as the Center of Disease Control. There's a $1.5 million we're receiving for federal grants to launch different cyber trainings and cyber initiatives. Scholarships, definitely meet with your academic advisors to find out what scholarships are available. Every scholarship can vary depending on GPA, depending on the major, depending on status. So you want to meet with your academic advisor, International Student Services, to see what scholarship opportunities are available to you. Extracurricular activities. Here is a list of our current student clubs, and I encourage all students to join clubs. And what you can do is, by just starting, is following some of these clubs on Bulls Connect, so that you can see what events they have going on, what networking events, what maybe how to join their club, and not, or maybe have a position in their club. Some cool clubs are we have the Women in Computer Science and Engineering. We have White Hatters, which is a computer security club. Robo Bulls, Game Development Club, Brain Computer Interface, ACM is another wonderful clubs. At the end, I'll put the link so that you can see and check out what's going on with all these clubs. And again, you can follow them and see if you want to partake in any of these, joining in any of our student organizations. Here's just some news articles about the wonderful things that our student organizations take place in. The Cyber Herd, for example, was placed 5th place in Cyberforce, which is like a national conference. And in 2004, they also won again in competitions. These are our clubs joined into huge national conferences and competitions, and we come in pretty good place. Here is 3rd place we won in a programming contest. Okay, I'm gonna play this video. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll put a link to it in the chat. There we go. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So yeah, that was one of our fellow students that started one of our organizations, and she's doing really well for herself right now. Here's just some more news highlights of some of our organizations and things they have done. Internships. So students are able to take internships and get credit for it. It will be computer science credit, 3 credits. And with that, we work very closely. Advisors work very closely to work with students to make sure that they have their resume updated and um, they're ready to start seeking different opportunities for internship. We work very closely with Career Services, which is on USF, and to set up ways for students to start applying. We have career fairs, we have resume writing events where different companies come in and critique the students' resumes to make sure that they are standing out against this demanding job market. Listed here are some of the companies that our students got internships at for 2023. Some were in the state of Florida, some were out of the state of Florida. But if you see here, there are some pretty large names. There's Google, there's Amazon, there's Citibank, a CAE, Rapid. So there's a lot of different companies that have got our students as internships. Um, we have huge companies coming in to speak to our students, and as I mentioned before, we have a huge resume writing event where different companies come in. We've had Raymond James in the past, we have CAE in the past come in, work with our students, speak to them about how to get into the industry and how to stand out. This is a photo of one of our events. Okay, we'll leave some time now for some questions. I'll have some of the ambassadors come in and speak about their experience as well. Fahada, Naisha, anyone want to speak about how they have experienced, what's some of their experience as a student here?
All right, I can go.
Okay, hi Naisha.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nischal. I am a senior studying computer science. I'll be graduating this May. I feel like USF was one of the best decisions that I've made. It's a really good place to learn and also make lifelong connections. You would definitely have a sense of campus. You would the campus is very big, and in terms of that, you also see those many opportunities coming your way. And the only way you can make use of all these opportunities is by being more involved, and obviously staying up to date with what's happening around you, and always looking out for opportunities yourself as well. So yeah, that will be my advice, and something that I like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha, for sharing. And yes, he's graduating, and we're super excited for him. I mean, we're sad to see him leave, but we're super excited that he's going to be graduating. Andrew, are you there? Trying to see if anybody else is here. Fahada, are you still with us?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi everyone, I'm Fahada. I'm also a ambassador for the new Bellini College. And like Nashville said, it's it's a big campus, but there is definitely a community, especially for like computer science students. There's a lot of us. I mean, if you look at the chat, you can see half of us is like we're computer science. I think it's a great program. We have so many opportunities, so many classes you can take, and you can also like find your community by joining clubs, like Stacey mentioned. It's really important to join clubs. Yeah, go Bulls.
Bellini College work starting from fall or summer?
So that's a good question. So it's officially fall, but students that are entering for summer will be a part of the Bellini College.
So it's also part of USF, but it's just a college in USF.
Yes. So that's a great question. So USF is composed of different colleges. Like there's the Mumma College of Business. And so we are one of the colleges at USF, correct? Question says, when can we start registering for fall 2025? Yes, so you will be getting emails inviting you to orientation and registration. You'll meet with an advisor and they'll set up your classes. So just be on the lookout, but I'm going to leave the team to discuss like what are the next steps in terms of admissions, but it's very important that you're checking your emails because you will get invitations to orientation and advisement and registration. Okay. One more question. What does it mean Tampa is a cybersecurity hotspot? So that just means that there's a lot of tech companies in the Tampa area and that number is increasing. Okay, it's almost like a hub of different startups that are growing, different companies that are now stationed in the Tampa area. As I mentioned in some of the history, Tampa was one of the first USF Computer Science and Engineering Department. We're the ones that introduced the internet to Tampa area. Nigel, I know you had some wonderful internship experiences.
So I interned as a software engineer in a manufacturing company. The company is called Cummins. They specialize in engines, diesel generators, and heavy machines. And I was in their software division team. I was helping them build internal tools that all these different people, such as line workers, people who work on factory floors, people who work with different parts, people who work with analytics and HR. So all these people, so they all need tools that they work with and some way to sync all these information. So I was basically working with the team that builds tools for all these people, especially, and they're called rapid application development. And throughout this process, I was working with a bunch of technologies such as AWS. I was also working with Angular, and all these were basically industrial equipment that I was working with in terms of like the data parts that we used to like track in our database and different aspects of that side. So it was quite a learning experience, and I'd say it was great. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nigel.
Of course.
All right.
Thank
Looks
you.
like we are out of questions. So I will jump in with just general reminders from admission side. If you have not already secured your spot at USF, know that your first step in doing so is submitting your admissions deposit. Our deposit deadline is coming up on May 1st, and we encourage you not to delay. After submitting your deposit, you also have other mandatory steps that you need to complete in order to enroll at USF successfully. If you don't know where to start or require more assistance, we have a dedicated team of international student support, and they will help guide you through all the steps of enrollment. They have a series of events coming up in the next few weeks. You have been emailed invitations and registration links, but I will also place them in the chat. They will be covering topics on immunizations, health insurance, orientation, and student resources. So I highly recommend you attend those sessions. You can also contact any of international offices, including our Office of International Admissions, Office of International Student Support, or Office of International Services, depending on the question that you have. Feel free to take a screen grab of the slide or copy the information that was posted in the chat. I also want to remind that if you have joined as unverified, you will lose access to this chat as soon as you get off the call. So if you'd like to keep all the information from the chat, feel free to save it on your device. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions in the chat, so I think we're going to wrap this session. And I would like to give a huge thank you to all our speakers today for sharing the experiences, for sharing the information about the USF New Bellini College. And thank you to all of you for joining us. We cannot wait to see you at USF very soon.
Yes.
Have a great
Thank
evening,
you.
everybody.